jean jackets, taking trips, and She Podcast Live experience. All this and more on today's Brilliant Observations. Do, 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 do.
Well, we meet again, Melissa.
I have to tell you, dear listener, I fucked up. Somehow I wasn't recording, and we just did 2 hours of content, and you get to hear none of it. So we're going to
if you were
recap.
a Patreon listener, you would also not get to hear any of it. So that helps. We had 2 hours of really funny stuff, and this is what we're back on live to do? Come on. Well, that's it. That was a great show.
Thank you for listening.
Nice talking with you, Melissa. I'm glad
we
you
had
showed
a
up
great
today.
trip, and now you guys know all about it. Hi, guys. We are back from She Podcast Live, a convention of female podcasters who gathered to talk shit about men and to plan the demise of the patriarchy.
It's true.
And sit in the red tent and have our pelvic floor strengthened.
Nope. Yep.
And our tarot cards read.
Yep.
And
Yep.
dear men, everything you are terrified women would do when they get together happened at this conference that Amy and I were lucky enough to attend.
Well, I thought that was a bunch of hooey. I thought it was a bunch of bullshit, that when women got together, it was no different than when women are together in mixed crowds or when powerful women are together in business settings. Like, I just didn't think that it would be such a visit to another planet. I'm not sure if it's because we were on the Phoenix planet, which seems to be its own COVID-safe planet.
Do you mean the planet of Arizona where Melissa was the only human wearing a mask for 4 days straight, and I got looks like, do you think she has a disease?
I felt
Is
bad
something
for you.
wrong with her?
I felt bad for you because you were Bubble Boy in the land of no COVID.
I was. I was Bubble Boy.
You were John Travolta out in the yard, watching that girl ride the horse. There was nothing but you. You're out there, with your
my
own
face
swathed up. Yeah. And
pressed
with
up against
with
the windows.
Only her two beady little eyeballs giving as hard a get the fuck away from me vibe as possible, because she's got nothing left. She can't scowl at you. The only thing she's got working is the eyes. Like, I will kill you if you approach. I will kill you if you approach.
Hey, Amy, how would people know at this conference not to approach me besides my beady eyes? How else would they know that? Was there any other way?
Oh, I just find it so perfect. When you go to conferences like these, they give you the opportunity to identify, would you like to be engaged with or not? I mean, prior to COVID, we're podcasters. So for a lot of people, that means they don't like people. They just like quiet. They like a microphone and a megaphone. They don't want to actually engage with people on the other side unless it's through some technological channel. The real life people-y thing doesn't work. So typically when you go to one of these conferences, they give you a lanyard color and it says, I'm an extrovert, I'm an introvert. This year they did 3 colors, green, yellow, red.
What do you think I chose, dear listener?
What do you think they were for? Well, that's my favorite part, because you couldn't even decide. She wanted to be yellow. She did. She started with a yellow.
And then what? And then what happened?
And about 30 seconds later, it was red. Switched over to the red. And then she thought, well, that's mean. I'll do both, which is my favorite. Sort of telegraphing, I don't know how hard I want you to stop. But it's on you. Yes.
It was more like, I am cautious with the yellow, but once I talk to you, I'm pretty sure it's red.
I'm here to tell you, I find that also very charming, because they're, for me, those stop, back up, those, the giant X signage, the flags trying to wave the airliner in.
Yeah.
That's for me. That's to stop me. And I don't look at any of that shit. How many people did I grab? And I have, unfortunately
everybody.
for me, a cheek full of tit before I realized, I didn't even look at your badge. I'm short.
So when a cheek full of tit.
I go in to hug people, and that's all. And they're all tall. And when they're not normally tall, they're conference tall because they're all wearing their fucking boots and their shoots and their heights and their zotes and all the fucking slangs, all the things that people wear when they're out with their little fucking painted toes. I'm wearing blister-causing sneakers, and everyone else is there, and they're like, bow, bow, bagom, bagom. Like, I'm a stylist. I'm a professional. I'm a gorgeous. I'm a 17-foot tall Amazon. And I'm like, I'm going to bite your tit. Like, I just was walking around like the craziest fucker. It was very weird.
So we had these lanyards that said, talk to me, I love you, green. Stay a little bit back, I'm not sure yet, yellow.
Ask if it's okay, was yellow, was ask if it's okay, and red was no touchy, no talking.
Stop sign, stay 6 feet. So I definitely intermingled by day 2, the 2 yellow and red, but also they had pins that we got to put, flair, TGI Fridays flair that we got to put on our lanyards that said things like he, she, like you choose your pronouns, just so everybody's comfortable. Remember, these are women, and we cut right to it. Tell us what it is you want, and we will nurture and nurse you.
Is there just a point of order, Senator? Is there a pronoun choice he, she? Isn't that which one is that? That's kind of like
she, her.
That's like, if you're going to do that, do you need a button? Because I feel like
everybody's right.
Feel like we might be there without the button. It's just mine.
Yeah. Look. It's been
There were a lot of buttons. It's been a long flight.
4 days.
It's been a long 4 days, and I'm here to tell you the overwhelm is real. These people know all about you, and you don't know who the fuck they are. It's so weird. And the same goes true for them. I'll be fangirling over somebody who I listen to, and they're looking at me like, this is creepy and gross. I don't know you. Thank you for the praise. Get the fuck away.
And we get it.
Yeah, we get it.
We get it.
It's very
But
weird.
we're still doing it.
Yeah, and I don't pay attention to the lanyards. I'm just
so what
disregard.
Was the point of that?
I'm sure other people did, but the funny part is the only people who really need to be told to back the fuck up are the ones who won't.
So there's an introvert pin and there's an extrovert pin. Right. And somebody said, I'm an omnivert. I'm like, oh, yeah, clever. Moving on. And Amy said, well, there's no pin for me. And she found herself a bowl of blank pins and a Sharpie. And she created a pin that just said vert.
That's
dash vert.
I'm a vert.
And she's all the verts because she's a pervert. Hey. She's a... Hey.
I'm a modivert. I'm a modivert.
I don't know what that is. What's a modivert?
You haven't read your diversity, equity, and inclusion manual then. I just feel like there's always something new that we have to be learning to keep track of all of the groups. There's a lot of groups. It's the she, him. The she, him button.
that group is only in my head.
My gut reaction was like, fuck, now what, did I mess it up? And then I was like, there's no she, him. Like, I feel like it's maybe a little bit of that John Oliver sketch where
I went
he'll
for
be
she, them, but it came out as him.
Yes, where he'll put up a photograph of or a map showing the country that he's referencing behind him, and halfway through his conversation it'll go, and you know so little about this country, you didn't even realize that's not the right map of that country. And I'm like, right. You get me every time, and I know you're going to get me she, her, him.
But you called me on it. I meant she, them. It came out as she, him. It's fine. It's not like I speak into a microphone on a regular basis and shit needs to be coherent. It was a lovely conference. There were super interesting people, and I think I had a tiny hint of a downfall when I discovered upon landing that certain substances are quite legal in the state of Arizona. And why wouldn't they be? Arizona, we had to walk around with passports and papers because that state's pretty fucked up. I mean, it's just behind, if not slightly in front of, Texas and Florida on my list of, we don't need them. So for me to fly in there as a liberal female Jew, I definitely knew I had to wear a mask for 3 reasons right there. So once on campus at the resort, I felt a little better. But that whole commute, I was thinking, shit could go down any minute. Like, I need to be ready. So we did land. Well, I landed first because Amy decided to spend the day in canned airport air.
That's awful.
And I decided to just check out one of the local establishments that's sold substances that are not legal in my state, just to see what the hype was all about. And when you engage in things like, drinking or other activities that kind of change your personality a little bit or your mindset, and you are already at a conference where when I partake in substances, I kind of shut down a little bit. I'm much more of a sit in the corner, voyeuristically watch what's going on. Conferences don't allow that. And when your conference partner is a gregarious nightmare to that introvert, you're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much. Yep. And my other favorite piece of this is we meticulously coordinated our schedules from multiple states so that we would arrive at the same airport within 20 minutes of each other, so that we could catch one ride to the resort, so that we could get started on projects that need attending, so that we could manage pre-conference details for which we were scheduled to appear. So there was a lot riding on this is going to work out. It never in a million years occurred to me that driving to the airport at 4 a.m. for my 5 a.m. flight, them fuckers would cancel my flight. Cancel the fucker. It was canceled. Cancel culture. They canceled my flight. Not
but
going.
Canceling is better than postponing, because canceling, they're responsible for putting you on right away. Postponing means
no.
24 hours.
That's so adorable. They're responsible for putting you on, period. They rebooked me on a flight for Friday afternoon.
That would have sucked.
Yeah. So I spent the entire day running, trying to get standby, and on the phone with and in the face with all the people saying, I'm presenting at a conference right now, but you see that I'm not there doing it. I'm here with you, lovely friends. Is there a way that we could maybe change this up some? It was a very long day. I finally made it at least to the gala opening night reception in progress, walked in the middle and yelled out the answer and should have won a prize, but they gave it to somebody in the front row. Anyway, I knew all the answers to all those fucking prizes, by the way. Did I win any?
Because there were questions like, where did Jess go to college? And we're like, dude, I held her hair back there.
No,
I know.
No, I'll stump you right now. How many episodes are there of She Podcasts? I fucking knew that. I should get a prize for knowing that. 333. Okay, so here's my point to you. Arizona is a strange place. And when you land there after being in an airport all day, I want the weed. And it's free here. Give it. I have no problem.
Not free.
It's free here. Well, whatever it's called. It's legal.
It's plentiful.
Here.
It's legal.
It's free. It's free weed. That's why I enjoyed so much. The point is,
here
I was very
am.
tired. She was already a couple ahead of me started, so I had to catch up.
We had
quite a Friday night. Was
it
Friday?
Basically, because you
Thursday.
left me.
No, it was Thursday night. We had quite a Thursday night. Yep. Oh God.
You left me alone with rooms of people, and I was
not
like,
do that to American Airlines. Did that to you?
I was in a panic. So I was like,
fucking
what's going to help
Americans.
my panic?
Yep.
This substance.
Yep.
So the bottom line is, I kind of just sit back and watch, and Amy is the arm grabber. What'd you say? A face full of tit? Like
I did get cheek full of tit all the time.
Tell me more about your podcast. Oh, how did that make you feel? And I thought, I don't really feel my legs so much anymore, so we're going to need to keep moving on to the next.
I was really excited.
You were fantastic.
I was really excited and engaged. So I'm here to say it was a lot of Amy. It was a lot of Amy. I feel like maybe I had some kind of...
You called it several things over the course of the weekend.
Well, it started out... First of all, it was like a truth serum weed.
That's right.
That you got.
I said truth serum. You called it mean weed.
Well, then I started calling it mean weed because whatever I was thinking, I would say it. And there was zero filter.
Which to me made me think it was truth serum as opposed to mean weed.
No, I never... because I don't have mean thoughts. But when I would get a mean thought, I would just say it. Blah, 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 blah. Out it would come. And then later, I realized it's not really mean weed. Because as time would wear on, and you were getting increasingly, I think, maybe COVID queasy. Like you were just sort of looking, your eyes would go like crazy, like looking around, like this place is not safe. This place is not safe. This place is not safe.
You're indoors, and I've been locked down for 2 years to have the first place you go. It's like your hair's on fire, and you're running around holding your testicles. Like what is happening here?
It was vibrating off you, and I don't even have any testicles. And I was holding a lot of them. So you had these looks on your eyes because there's no face because you're covered with a mask. At one point, I took the mask off to do something, and I don't think I ever put it back on. I kept forgetting to put it on. And then I was like, well, why would I be the only person besides Melissa wearing a mask in here? I've got my vaccination. I have the card. I brought it.
Dear
they
listeners,
let me
so
in.
you know, everybody there was vaccinated.
You had to show it to even get onto the resort. Yeah.
There were times where, yes, but we had to share the resort. Exactly. There were times where I took pictures with some people and I took my mask off for the pictures while we were outside, while it was like no indoor pictures of me with no mask. That's one step that I couldn't handle. But I want you to know that we did try some things while we were there, and it was great. But here we are back to reality in our very strict states of none of those things are allowed.
Yeah, and that's really kind of sad because I did notice that it's cheaper because it's free weed. It's cheaper to have your high that way. And it's not really like calling it a high. It's more like taking the edge off. Now, I'm sure you can get high on the stuff, but it was definitely... This day. Oh, okay. Whew, thank God for mean weed.
Right. Yes. And big fan. It was super. And now we are back to reality where none of those things exist.
Just the final thing about it is I forgot that I had chewed up a lone mean weed gummy and went about my business. And then it got, time to eat things because you never forget that when you're on the mean weed. It's time to eat. And then you eat something. And then when I'm eating something, the little man comes over and says, would you like to have something to drink? And I ordered a cocktail. So I wasn't even thinking, right?
It was the 1-2 punch.
After I had the cocktail with the mean weed, I learned that we really should have been calling this dickweed because I'd crossed over into a territory where, first of all, this place is too fucking big, okay? For the motility challenged, it's rough. And I had a giant
dwellers in us.
I worked up a massive blister racing through the airport in my 2 new socks in the dum-dum sneakers that I chose to wear that I thought I was only going to walk from one gate to my car. Oh, no. Okay, so I had a massive blister working, which I didn't like. I was up very late, which I didn't like. I had to walk back to my room in the dark with no cart. And did I also tell you that in Arizona, the black is like the black of space. There's no light outside. There's no stars or nothing. It's so dark. You guys, it is like Batman black dark in the sky, and you can't see where you're going.
There are definitely stars in the sky.
No, there were none.
What are you
it was
talking
so dark.
about?
And you left me. You were up ahead walking, and I was so mad that I was trying to keep up, but I was too tired, and I had to pee. And then these 2 girls, I'm sure they were grown-ass women, sitting on the ledge, just watching the whole thing unfold. Yes! And so I called up ahead to you, and I said, will you slow down, you blonde bitch? And the women on the ledge said, that white girl just called her a blonde bitch. So I was like, all right, we're podcasting now. I got an audience, right? So, and I'm trying to drop my fucking phone. Next, I dropped my phone, and it bounced off the bone of my foot onto the earth. And it was the gravel earth because nothing in Arizona can be earth. It's got to be like
no level ground,
blanched rock. Like it's, nothing can live in that climate. So it's got to already be some kind of organic structure. Oh my God. So the point of the phone hitting the bone in your foot, it hurt so bad. And when we got back to our cabana and I showed it to you, whatever, bungalow, when I showed it to you, I was trying to show you my foot. Did I get any sympathy for the black spot on my foot?
No.
I did not.
No.
Didn't help that later I was able to wash it off and I realized it wasn't a bruise. It was
that you
dirt.
licked your thumb and wiped it off in
It
a
was
second.
nevertheless a very painful area that was identified with an X marks the ouch right on my foot. And I feel like I deserve better from you.
It was a very painful
partner.
Piece of dirt on your foot.
You left me. You left me. That's what happened. You left me.
I can't walk that slow. I just can't walk that slow.
Okay.
God gave me legs.
Fuck off. That's why I have a cheek full of tit. Okay? I'm not that tall. I don't know what to say. Shit takes longer.
So prior to going, we had to pack, right? So we did discover while packing that women don't dress for men at all / ever. Women dress for women. We don't give a fuck if men think we look good. What we care about are do you remember when I told you my daughter gave me an Attagirl And it was
do.
all I lived off of for like the next month. I'm like,
She told me had a girl.
that's kind of how women feel about compliments or comments or, girl, you are rocking that from other women. We don't give a shit if a guy's like, you look fine tonight, because our answer is no to whatever your next question is. But if a woman comes to you and says, those shoes are everything, or your ass in those pants, or whatever a woman dishes out as a compliment, has 10,000% more weight, has more gravitas, has more credibility with us. Sorry, guys. It's just the way it is.
And the ladies were rocking it. I saw some quite remarkable side boob. I saw some very high-legged, up to the hip slit pants. Did you see those? Did you see that?
No.
Where she had a hat and the pants. She said, I bought these as yoga pants, but I feel like I can wear them. And I was like, yeah, I think you can. Because damn, girl. I mean, it's like this was a diversity inclusive fest. It'd make a girl turn gay because there was a lot of hotties up in this thing. And normally there were. And normally you think podcast conference, face for radio. Like it's just not the kind of thing that you expect to go there and have stylists and all these, crazy, beautiful people who are on TV all the time. But they were there and they were wearing very tiny poolside clothing. And I did not go to the tiny pool.
How about our friend Halicue, who had the most beautiful everything?
Yep.
And we just met some really interesting people.
I had her tit in my cheek. Yeah, she's probably 9 feet tall. All of it gorgeous. Yep. Delightful.
We met our friends from Mouse and Weens. Some of you have reached out to
They're fucking tall too. Is everybody tall? How did I somehow not meet the? Well, Bonnie's nice and short. Come on, Bon. Let's go talk.
She told me that you guys are the same height.
That's a lie. I'm taller than you, Bonnie, but not by much. That's
people ask us, I really love your podcast. Is there anything like yours? And I said, oh, honey, no, there's nothing quite like Amy and Melissa on mic. But if you enjoy like a sisterly relationship of two different worlds, we've directed you to Mouse and Weens before. And for us to get to spend a little bit of time with them was kind of amazing.
Was great. Too short. It was way too short. That's the frustration for me. Events like this. You get this fantastic, really deep interaction, and then it's over in a finger snap, and magically you can't sort of see that person, and then it's time to go home. It feels like there's always 9 things happening simultaneously.
Right, and you're missing
and
9 of them.
The things that you're missing, you don't want to miss, but the thing that you're in, you would never give up. So it's sort of this FOMO no matter what you do. But the good news is I think they've actually recorded the whole thing, and she might still be selling passes where you can see the sessions after the fact. If go to shepodcast.com, whatever's information is available there. But it was wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. And frankly, even to be able to pull this shit off in COVID, it's kind of crazy. The one thing I want to say about this conference that I think really identifies how weird it is to be a podcaster, the headline speaker, Cameron Esposito. I had not heard of Cameron Esposito before this. She runs a podcast that's called Query, like inquiry, like I'm asking a question, but it's spelled Queery. And it's all about, hey, let's talk about these things that we're not really sure we can talk about. It was very cool to be able to hear about that and to listen to her, him. She goes by both. I can't remember. It mixes them both in the conversation, in fact. Maybe that's where we got the she, him, her, it, all the things. All of them. She's all the buttons. She's all the buttons, right? So...
all the verts.
As Cameron, and is up on stage, cracking jokes, dropping F-bombs, huge personality, open, available, inviting. Walking out is with a colleague of mine, so I go over to get an introduction, and I just kind of inserted myself, and I said, I just wanted to say, really enjoyed your presentation, found it very eye-opening. And she stepped back 2 feet, nodded, didn't say thank you, nodded, and sort of kept walking, almost like my taxi is leaving right now. And it was like, yep, that's podcasting. Somebody who is totally comfortable having these deep, intimate, one-on-one connections with people as long as the other person is doing it like later and I'm not there.
As long as I don't have to be put on the spot and uncomfortable and be seen.
Yeah, saying hello to a professional stand-up comic was just a bridge too far. So that really just summed it all up for me. That this solely professional out there person could also be like, nah.
So, okay, so we're putting a cap on that pen of the conference, but I want to let you know that we also had to pack, right? I said we packed women for women. I'd like to discuss what else we do when we're going on trip. The other thing we do before going on trip is groom ourselves to some degree. Yeah, it's what women do, man. It's what we do. There was a poolside party as part of the event. I had no intention of going to a poolside party and going in a pool. Did I bring a bathing suit? Several questions. Did I bring one? Yes. Did I even bring a slight cover for that suit? Sure did. Did I shave my bits and parts? I absolutely did. And do I regret it? Yeah, I do. Ugh.
I'm here to tell you, I heard many a gal lamenting that they had not yet shaved and they were headed to said pool party. What I do when I'm getting ready to go out in a shared bungalow with my friend in the other room, when I'm getting dressed, sometimes I'll have a slight conversation with myself in my head. And even
slight conversation. Does that conversation, Amy, ever turn into an argument in your head with yourself?
I'm just saying. I have conversations. I will run the conversation as if it's real. And then sometimes I will speak out loud. What is
turn on your outside voice?
So, Melissa,
I think, dear listener, what she's trying to say.
Melissa was in the other room, and after a prolonged period of silence, she hears me yell quite firmly, I don't even have to wear these underpants.
I don't even know what to say. I can't with that.
It made sense. It made sense in my head.
No, it didn't.
And I didn't have to. I don't even have to wear these underpants, so I don't have to be angry about it.
And then with me saying, yet nothing still, I hear, because.
I did not say because.
You did.
Oh,
You did.
Well, it's also true. And I didn't have to wear them.
Do I engage with Amy and her underpants conversation, or do I let her think that's okay? Like she's okay, right?
No, I'm not. But I didn't even have to
I don't even have to wear these underpants.
It worked out in the end. And all I was trying to suggest to myself was that I have other underpants that can be worn. And the truth is, because I had laughed really hard and there was a tiny droplet of tinkle on the underpants and it made me very mad. I don't know if you have boys, okay, but when they go to the bathroom, they can't control themselves and they walk out. After they're done, they like move too quick or whatever. And there's always like the little penis-sized circle of wet on the outside of whatever shorts or pants they're wearing because they just, reattached or whatever happens when you're done. And then this little twink touched against the fabric. That's how much pee we're talking about. It was not a lot. So I was having this running debate of now I got to walk around with fucking wet underpants.
One of the items on
I don't even have to wear these underpants.
One of the items on Amy's talk about successful podcasts was about being real, right? It was about being vulnerable and being honest and all of these comments. Now, dear listener, I love you. I'm going to come out and tell you, I love you. I do. I care so much about you for caring about us and for showing up. And I know we complain, but you definitely write in and tell us your thoughts. And we really appreciate you. I'll speak for myself. I really appreciate you.
Thanks. I don't.
Would I tell you? I pissed my pants, talked to myself because I didn't have to change my underpants because I had other. I don't know. I don't know if I would.
Come on, it wasn't pissed my pants. It was a tiny droplet of urine that occurs when you laugh too hard. I don't even have to wear these underpants.
So clearly, listeners, you can hear we had a great time. We definitely had a great time. But Amy and I definitely got into a fight just before we left about an article of clothing, and it's not her underpants. We fought about jean jackets.
We did?
We did.
I'll fight you now.
Yeah,
before we left. No. Before we left our home states to go to the non-COVID planet, we did fight about jean jackets.
We sure did.
We're about to do it again, if you can't tell. Here's some foreboding. A fight's coming. Yeah.
Here it comes. I said jean jackets are amazing. They are the perfect to wear with anything other than jeans. They are the perfect extra lightish, jeanish layer that you can wear to the beach, to the prom, to any place you're going.
Prom? I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry that just happened. That just happened. There's no way that you can say jean jacket prom. Are you in Canada? Okay.
And now you did teach me what a Canadian tuxedo was. I had no idea.
Oh, okay.
But I'll tell you that I think a jean jacket is versatile. It has pockets.
You put a great deal of importance on the pocket. I'm here to tell you.
I love pockets.
I can tell.
And Amy said, I hate the jean jacket. And I said, that's not even English. I don't think you know what you just said. You're wrong.
I super hate it. I get that they're cute on some people. I do. I get that they're cute on some people. I'll go that far. That's about it.
I'm talking a Gap jean jacket that's been from 1979 to right now, 69, till right now, stayed a staple in every wardrobe. Woman's wardrobe.
I don't know what to say to you other than it's just not okay.
Just tell me you love me.
Brian?
Hey, you know what I discovered about masks while we were in Arizona?
I don't know.
They really test your hearing.
Oh, God. You would not believe.
So your mouth is covered and people are talking to you and there's no lip reading. And it's so like you're like leaning in and you just, what? Huh? Say it again. Luckily in Arizona, nobody had masks on and I can hear everything they're saying. I didn't want it. But I always had to yell louder than everybody else.
We had the triple effect. You're wearing a mask, which makes it difficult for you to project your voice loud enough for anyone to hear in a quiet environment. It's a very noisy environment because you're either in a giant pre-function space or a ballroom or a lobby or
outside with a waterfall.
Outside with a waterfall, all the things.
Those cactuses are so loud.
Or you are in the show area, they called it the bazaar, like the exhibitor space where all the people are like, let's do a live recording of this thing in one booth. And then right next to it, let me give you the consulting on your fashion look. And let's also test out this thing with lots of music on it. And here's my editing technique. It's all audio. It's a lot of noisy. And then people are coming up. And in my case, they're a foot taller than me. So I can't. So it's like the speaker is way over my head. Literally, like a speaker with sound is coming out and I can't jump up high enough to hear it. They're trying to bend down like I'm some fucking child. The whole thing. Nobody can see. Nobody can hear. It's too loud. It's too soft. All the things. I stopped wearing the mask. I just stopped wearing it. I forgot.
You said I'm taking my chances.
Well, I took it off to eat or do something, or I'm not even sure at what point it would go on and off and on and off and on and off. And then you sort of just get this visual reinforcement that no one's wearing them. And we are all card-carrying, vaccinated.
Does that mean you weren't looking at me
members.
At all?
You were looking at me so mean and so mad most of the time because I think what you were doing was concentrating. I think you were listening and also
so hard.
Well, and you were also you were also, I'm not sure what they call it, like a spotter for a sniper. Like you were also surveying, like you were sort of. You were looking all around the room like, how do I get out of here? Where's
all
the
of that
exit?
is accurate.
Who can I kill? I don't like you. You're very weird. She's got a cute top. Like all the things that are happening in your eye line. And I could just see the crazy just going tweak, 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 tweak.
All of that is accurate.
And I just, it was like.
Kept talking. You just
like
kept
I took
talking.
my top off. Let's go. And I'm just running.
You just
running.
kept talking.
I would do a lot of running. I mean, it's like you don't need to run in a conference. And I would run. I was very excited. It's a lot of things there.
At that bazaar, each one of those booths.
Will you say that always? I want to change the show name to that now, so you will say it always.
Booths. Booths. What do you say?
Booths. I don't know that it's funny, but it sounds
really any different than what I said.
I don't know. It's kind of like it's like a slur on boobs. It's like you can't get it. I don't know.
Booths.
And the whole thing, your face, you got to put so much energy into it. It's booths, honey. It's not. It's I love this.
Each one had something to give away.
Oh my
There's
God,
a eye mask here. There's a towel. I appreciate it, but I don't know how the fuck you're getting that in a bag that I packed with a bathing suit, a cover, and 10 other outfits I didn't wear because there was nothing formal or dressy.
Super cute beach towel. Did you end up taking it home?
I have a green something. I have a beach
Evergreen.
towel.
It was Evergreen podcast. I had to leave it behind.
You did?
I had to leave. The zipper on my carry-on luggage must be made of space-age material. I'm not even sure how I got that thing
It just
closed.
made it? Did it explode?
It didn't make it. I'm testing the integrity of the exterior plastic of the entire suitcase.
So I pack up and I leave and I see all the things you left behind. And at one point, I must have gotten into the shower with a bra on. I'm not sure how that happened.
I did notice that bra.
I left my bra at the hotel.
You left it?
Well, I didn't
After
mean
you
to.
left it on. Well, but it was in the toilet area. Call it the bathroom is what we call it. Everything is a toilet for me today. You got into the shower with your bra on by accident. That was not your plan. So the bra. What happens when you get in the shower with a bra on?
It gets wet.
That's what happens. So you take the bra and you hang it up, and then the bra will dry. We're in Arizona.
Yes.
Things dry in like this. They're done. They're dry.
Yeah.
But it hung there for a while. And when I left in the morning, I had to leave at 3 a.m. That's how bad the airlines like me. So at 2:30, I was in the bathroom looking at your little bra, and I thought, you should move that bra to the sink.
Yeah,
so
if you had, I would have remembered it.
But I thought, she's going to come in here and and sit here and stare at the wall and say, what have I done with my life? And see that bra just like me. I thought we were the same. You also had a shampoo thing.
Yeah.
You had a shampoo thing in the shower. You left it in there too?
Yeah.
I almost moved that for you.
There.
You did?
And a hair comb. I left a lot of things behind. I was pretty excited to go home. I'm not going to lie.
She was ready to go home like before she arrived.
Correct.
She was ready to go home.
And Arizona scares me. The best part was getting to see Jessica be great and see your presentation and, I don't know, scratch my parts because everything's growing in and it's the worst after you shave to have things come back at you and to wear a jean jacket to upset you.
You didn't wear it. You didn't wear the jean jacket.
I didn't bring a jean jacket.
I know, because I'm sitting here racking my brain thinking she didn't have that thing. The whole time she didn't have that thing. She didn't have it.
So we're here to share all of our trauma drama with you, and you come back and people reinforced us being honest and authentic. And so I told people when I shit my pants on the side of the road and how my kid tells me, don't worry, Ma, just shit your pants. I got extra pants for you. So here we are. I don't know if we're better for having gone or if we've gotten too much out of it other than some towels and tons of T-shirts, for which I am super grateful. They will be on Peloton with me as I cut them up just right.
Well, I know that we are better for having gone. I know that as an industry, just to get a little highfalutin for a moment, I know that we are better for having this conference exist at all. It's easy to poke fun at all the woo-woo stuff, and we met a lot of people there who are firmly ensconced in the woo-woo. I had multiple people hand me tarot cards. One person hand me a tarot card. Multiple people be tarot readers. How
about the guy who talks to angels?
He's an international angel worker, so he's got domestic and international.
And yes, I said guy, by the way,
into categories, and it was weird because it's like, dude, you got the wrong parts to be up in here. I know it's supposed to be inclusive, but get the fuck out. Like you're not on the right. You're not on the right thing. Well, the only piece that we haven't really talked about from the conference, outside of how impressive it was to see people that we've known and loved for a long time really be in their element. How to see people that we've only known and loved through our headphones in one way, to see them embodied in the world.
And because of that, we're going to do a meetup so you guys can meet us.
She's saying no. Yeah, what the fuck are you doing? Stop. The other thing that we didn't say.
In my basement.
Because it is so convivial, right? There was a gigantic log that was like decor. Somebody had felled a tree, and I guess it was just, everything's a desert scape. So if we put a cactus on it, now it looks cute. I mean, it was so big. It was larger than a structural beam. It was gigantic.
It was like just smaller than a sequoia. That was
super big.
Like 5-6 feet of it just laying as art
And the whole conference, it was a mile marker for how long it was for me to walk back to the house. So when I was like, we're getting our picture taken on that big log. And one day when we were stumbling home, in between our stuff, it was blazing hot on the surface of the sun. And I said, we're doing it. So I tried to climb up on this giant log, which was very barky, and I was wearing shorts.
It was very barky.
It was very barky. And
why was it so barky? You would think that had been sitting there so long that it had been molested by enough people that bark not so much.
It is so barky. It's because it had been desiccated by Arizona sun. Won't you come and take my moisture away? It was awful. So I was trying to climb on this thing, and I'm getting scratched. And you want to like straddle it for the funny joke, like you're riding this giant dick, haha. You know the joke. You see it in your mind. I couldn't get my leg over the thing. It was too big. It was bigger than like a fucking horse.
I put my leg over it in a second. But
why don't you fuck off? So I tried to do it. And you also had jeans on. Jean jacket. You were wearing leg jeans.
What kind of jeans was I wearing, honey? What was I wearing again? Specifically, what kind of jeans would you say if you had to describe them? Right. That's what I thought. I was wearing jeans, and I threw a leg over it like it was my bitch. So I will post... When this drops, I will post a picture of Amy trying to crawl on top of a log.
The thing I'm trying to tell you with your leg jeans on.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Is that we were standing there like a couple of dopes trying to take individual pictures, and like my arms don't make selfie length, so I'm trying to do selfies and I can only get like my forehead in it. It's not working. So then you stood back and it wasn't working. So this woman happened by, took great pity on us. And she not only stayed with us, she art directed us. She moved us around. She tried to get all these pictures.
We still don't have a great picture for publicity.
The pictures are awful. She spent a lot of time with us, and they were the worst. And she kept saying things like, but my shadow is in it if I stand this way. Let me try. So she was trying to make it work. I think the risk here is that it was in, I don't know, it was probably like high noon in the Arizona desert.
Oh my God. I thought we were going to catch on fire, especially Amy.
You can't even see. The phone
with
is
her
so
half
high.
Irish
it stops
skin.
talking. Right. So the phone's like, I'm not going to take this fucking picture. You can press my shit all you want. Right. So it's like, I'm sure she couldn't even see the dial. It just like grays out like photo, maybe. Click. It's just
maybe.
Yeah. So it's, you don't know. You got no frame
I think
reference.
I got your jeans, leg,
and I got to do one more. I got to
there.
do one more because you would be really angry if I neglected to do this. I was thinking, what are some of the highlights from this? And we're leaving out all the part where there's great industry connection and you actually learn a whole lot, and it was very not only heartfelt but from a podcasting standpoint incredibly profoundly valuable. All that's
right.
being
We're
left
talking
out.
to you about our dysfunction.
We're talking to you about I made an interpersonal connection not only with Ben, our first server, who forgot my mayonnaise. I made an interpersonal connection. What's the matter with you?
Because you're talking about a relationship you had with your server.
Well, I mean, we were the most fun he had all night. And that's saying something
everybody.
Considering how we've described this fucking conference. Okay, so next, Kathy wants to help us in the morning time, right? And Kathy, I tried to pick up the bill at breakfast, and she had rung it as 4 individual bills, and then it took her. So I ended up having like an hour-long conversation with Kathy to try to get this shit sorted out. So Kathy happens to be from one of the Asian locales. I admit to you fully, I don't know if she was Korean. She's covering her face already. I don't know if she was.
I don't know how bad this is going to get. I
it's
can
so
see
bad.
Where it's going.
So fucking bad. So that's Kathy, right? Kathy's a delight. I felt like I had a connection with Kathy because she helped me not only at breakfast and brunch, but she also helped me coordinate getting a drink later in the day. Like there was a couple of times with Kathy. There's not that many servers there at the place when you keep going back day after day, right? It's their job.
Oh,
they're there every day.
And by the way, Amy would not let me get food from off campus. She did not want to leave.
They have
I
food
had
here.
1,000
They have fucking food here.
recommendations.
They have fucking food here.
And I said, we have to try this place, Chompies, from my friends Hindi and Joel, who said they'll give you a brisket sandwich, but it's not bread it's latkes on the outside. And it's amazing. It's a potato pancake that holds the fall apart in your mouth brisket. And I'm drooling right now even thinking about it. And she's like, they got food here. We're not going out. They got food.
We're getting vodka in a can from the gift store. Let's go. And then we're going out to the pool. And that's exactly what happened. But I'm also here to tell you, we missed enough. We've missed so much stuff. We can't keep missing stuff.
Poor Kathy's friend.
So Kathy was very helpful. She understood the dilemma. She wanted to help me. Later that same day, my glasses, it was very bright. It's Arizona. My glasses, for distance, I have progressives. If you're not looking through the right part of the glass, it's a little soft. So all these things go together.
Especially bright where we were.
It was especially bright where we were.
Painful faux pas.
She was inside. Backlit and inside. Kathy.
Who was inside?
Kathy was. And then I was outside on the pool deck approaching. And I happened to catch her eye. So from outside, with my sunglasses on, in the heat of the Arizona day, and I'm sure that I have had some sort of consumable of some kind. Perhaps more than one. I motioned to her and I said, Kathy, can you help me? And I started to talk and give her the long list of things that I desired as this resort guest, only to realize that it's not Kathy. It's some other woman who resembles her from a similar part of the world, undoubtedly a different country. And
you're Asian. You must be Kathy.
Just standing there looking at me like this happens to her every waking fucking second. And I caught it. Because I looked at her badge. And I said, you're not Kathy. And then immediately I said, I am so embarrassed. And she's laughing and saying, oh, it's fine. Didn't say it happens all the time. Didn't say that racist bitch who tripped and threw a phone is back again wanting more mayonnaise. Okay? The weed is off campus, lady. They sell weed at the resort, by the way. They sell weed at the resort, by the way. They sold it at the gift shop in the form of a CBDB drink, which I didn't get because that's in a can. You have to tell me.
Amy is telling you about all these things, this diarrhea of the mouth she had. She was uninhibited. It was so much fun to enjoy all of these things. But there was I came up with a code word to say to her when all of the words came out, when you only needed a third of them to make a point. And I told her, oh my God, you're doing it again. I'm going to say oranges each time you just have word vomit and you make absolutely no sense. I think I could try to figure out what you're saying because I'm me, but there are other people here.
You know what I'm saying. We're connected. That was Kathy in spirit. She was there to help me.
Yes.
She knew.
Kathy sent her. Yes.
And she was gracious.
She was lovely.
People love to help.
You did what Stuart does, where you have to say the name. You couldn't just say, hey, you have to say the name. He has to do it. If he thinks he might know it,
what would have been better? I snap my towel at her and say, pip, pip. The queen is here. Bring me a drink. And of course you say the person's name. They're wearing a badge that says their name on it. What do you want me to say? Hey, Dick, where's my drink?
Yeah,
I feel like the name is important to say. I don't say it every time. I don't say thank you,
when
Braxton.
You're right.
And Braxton. Important. And thank you, Braxton. Meanwhile, the fact that his name was fucking Braxton, that's its own kind of problem. And Charlie. I didn't call Charlie by the name Charlie. I really had such a strong
It said Charles
to Charlie.
on his ID badge. It said Charles, and she called him Charlie. So he probably hates you too.
I didn't call him anything. I didn't call him a second time. I wanted to be free of that card.
He said nothing to you. I can't
imagine
said a lot. Why you have such animosity.
You didn't ride with Charlie. You don't know what he did. Charles. No, I'm not interested in that. Pass. No.
Okay, fine. Fine.
If there was one black spot, it was Charles.
On your foot?
The whole time.
You did have a black spot on your foot.
She had the dickweed. She was like this the whole time, you guys. There was very little support. I had to make my own love.
And here you made love to yourself? No. And here we are back in our substance-free lives.
Headaches. Yep.
Headaches from detox.
Airport pinching seats. All the things.
Oh, so my flight decides to... Philadelphia is the worst airport ever, anywhere, ever. Period. Done. End of conversation. And New York has some fucked up airports, but Philly's worse. We circled for over 40 minutes. So my husband's waiting in a lot somewhere before a cell phone lot because he can't get...
Right. They don't let you up in Philadelphia because then they're going to say, no, I'll blow your car up.
Exactly.
I'm not going to bother towing it. Yeah.
Because Philadelphia is the place where it's going to happen.
That's right.
So he's sitting in a lot and I'm like, I see Philadelphia. I see the airport. And then all of a sudden the plane starts to turn on its side in a very uncomfortable,
Let's go back
God, we're going to fall out of the air sort of way. I'm looking for Harrison Ford to see if he's in charge of something that's going on. And he is not on our plane, nor are there snakes, which both are good.
Thank
and
God.
And so we circled for like 40 minutes, and I now want to throw up. The couple next to me, what do you want to know? They told me their live stories. I could tell you anything. They're from Delaware, and they told me this, which was the most interesting fact I've learned in the last 7 days. Ready?
Yes.
Are you ready?
I don't know if I am, but I'll say yes.
The University of Delaware is applying for IV status.
So am I. You think we'll get it?
So am I. I said, are you fucking
On
kidding
what
me?
basis?
What do you mean? She
Like,
said the only thing they're missing the only thing they're missing is more research. So they have to spend the next few years doing more research, and then they're applying.
That's not a bridge too far. They actually, I mean, I love to joke about my alma mater. They are known for their research. That is the number one thing that I would say, well, that's not actually funny. That's true. It's a ridiculously credible research institution. But you ain't no fucking Ivy League. You know what they have going for them? They're fucking old. Maybe that's a criteria. Have you been around since Jesus
The
was
beginning
a
of
young
time?
boy? Yeah, I was trying to do something in there with balls, but then I was like, Jesus and balls, they don't go in the same sentence.
They don't.
And I don't think balls are really like a marker of age. I don't think that's the one you use.
The height of them is definitely a marker of age. If your balls are low, it's because they're seasoned and they've been here forever.
Swing
high and
low.
tight. Yes, high and tight is not just a haircut.
Balls.
Exactly.
I don't
Do
think-
your balls hang low? Do they wobble to and fro?
That's how you tell us how old somebody is? I thought it was like tree rings.
It's like dogs with their teeth show their age. Trees have rings
What?
that show
Dogs
their age.
show their teeth age? How
Their
do you
teeth
tell
show
that?
their age.
How?
The whiter, younger, the younger they are, the you could tell by their gums and how far they've receded, the age on their teeth, how yellowed
Is
or
that
or-
like when you look in the ear of a little tiny child and they can tell how tall they're going to be by the folds of the ear flaps?
What are you talking about?
The truth of the world.
No. Bad dog. That is not.
That's what they do.
No. Who's they in this sentence?
Okay, ball chronologist. Here's
Oh
what
my
they
God.
do.
When. Okay. Here we
look
go.
at the ears. They look at the RJ.
I was waiting to see what crazy ass shit would fly out of your mouth that I need to request help for. And you know what? I gave you enough rope. And here we go.
When you go to a pediatric doctor, sometimes they're called pediatricians.
I'm going to call one right now.
They will look inside with that dumb scope, like
Yes.
the not nose scope, the ear scope. There's probably an earoscope. They look in your ear.
Otoscope. Yeah.
Sure, yeah, you know the names for it, but you don't know what they use it for. Keep telling me how you're important. So they look in there. They look in
Want to
there.
be my exports.
Yeah. You know all about it. You're trying to shame me for my ear folds. They look in, and the way the ear is folded up in there,
Shut
it's
up.
like puppy paws. You could look and tell how big you're going to fucking get. And they look and they say, yeah, this is a 6-footer. They look in there and they say, oh, you're going to be Bonnie Frank. That's what they look in there and tell you what's going to happen.
That's code for super cute at 5'2".
That's right. Clubhouse expert. Height, not so much. Yep. But they're gonna do. They look in there. Are you checking me live? Am I getting live verified?
Can you tell how tall a child is going
To be by
to
looking in their
be
ear.
by looking?
And when it says yes, do I win a prize? Because I didn't
Yes.
win any at this whole fucking conference.
Ooh, how's your picture going?
Not very well. It still only has 8 likes. There are multiple things in the conference app that where you can vie for higher status. We've mentioned this on pods previously that there was a leaderboard last time and I was hell-bent on getting on it. Well, the day before I left for the conference, I had not even participated in the conference app this time. And by the time I landed in Arizona, I was number 6 on the leaderboard.
Oh, you
So-
got as high as 6?
Yeah, actually, I got as high as 5, but I was pretty quickly bumped out. I wanted to stay in the top 5, but I got bumped out because I knew if I made it up to 5, even as I got bumped progressively, I would still stay top 10. So
And
I was
again,
top 10.
it's
I'm
important-
10 today. I'm still number 10 today, and I haven't touched it since.
And again, it's important for us to tell you we wanted to be involved in some things happening there. So Amy let that go. But then she discovered there's one other thing that she could passively compete in by just being fabulous.
Right.
So
they
she
had
did her talk.
Yep.
And
post
she
your
looked
photographs.
beautiful. She looked beautiful, and she wore cowboy boots that she purchased on one of our previous trips to Austin, Texas. the third of 3 states that I'm willing
I did.
to.
So it's important to say, because why would you wear boots to a presentation? Why would you wear boots at all? Why would you pack them when there's no room in your bag that's already bursting? The fact is this. I thought Arizona, there was a lot of boot mentioning prior to going out there. Lots of folks saying they were going to do it. Are we wearing cowboy hats? Or, sort of let's lean into it. There's cactuses as part of the decor and the theme of the show. So it was like, we're going to do this whole deserty kind of Western thing, being from the East Coast. Okay. And these boots are the most badass boots that have ever been created in the world, handpicked for me by my friend who is sadly no longer with us. They are rock star, ass-kicking, unbelievably, luxuriously overpriced, expensive, fantastic, custom made and custom fitted to me by Noel in the back of a taxidermist shop. He actually custom cut open and refit these boots to exactly fit my legs and had them shipped to me. So there's a whole backstory of the boots. And they're inlaid with gold leather, right? They're just gorgeous and fantastic. So I picked a blue dress, which is very flat and plain and boring, and I wore these fucking boots.
It's not really flat and plain and boring when you have this circle on the front on the zipper that I'm dyed, that you like unzip the front to show cleavage, or stay away from Melissa because it's really asking for my finger to go in the hole and just pull it all the way down.
It's one of those dresses where 3/4 of the whole front is a gold zipper, and the idea is you're supposed to have it zipped up to the top of your neck so that the pull on the zipper looks like a necklace, right? So that you can wear it without jewelry. But I unzipped it about part way. And then Melissa would constantly want to go zip, and then all of a sudden, hey-oh, it's that kind of conference. So I had all these things going on, right? So afterward, I'm ready to go back to the gated pool party and the dickweed. I don't want to stay in this big fancy pants. I've been up at the podium. I'm done. I did that part. Now I want to be an attendee again. I want to get back into my jean jacket and sweatpants. And live in the basement. So we quick hustle back to the bungalow. These boots they go all the way up to your knee. They're that proper cowboy boots. And they're on there pretty fucking tight because that's how they work. It's hard to get in and it's hard to get out. So I thought, all right, I'm not going to spend 2 hours doing it myself.
I hear, little help?
Ride around me here, Tex. Slide your leg around and just get on there and pull. Well,
so
it's like she's never pulled a boot off before in her life. She grabbed the top of my foot and the heel of my foot and pulled simultaneously, like she was going to pull my leg out of the socket. Instead of
pull her off the bed on the
instead
second
of
boot.
Tilting. So she pulled me physically. The boot didn't move. She pulled my ass off the bed and onto the ground.
That was number 2. But on the ground, you had one boot on.
I was laughing so hard. Maybe that's when I peed myself. I was laughing so hard.
That happened
was
so
the
many
second
times.
time. I think it was the second time. That's why I brought a lot of underwear. I come prepared.
I know.
So I was laying on the ground. My Spanx are showing. I've got one boot on and one sock half dangling. And there happens to be a knocked over cup that I had wiped off the side table trying to hold onto the bed. It was just an empty cup. You drink water in your room. Okay. So I just looked down at myself and I realized I have to humiliate myself further. So I took a photograph and I posted it on the shared photo board of conference memories. So it's the picture of my legs, half robed, laying on the floor with a cup next to me. So it looks like I've been passed out drunk for a long time. And I put a frame around it that said, She Podcasts Live, Inspiration.
Which is the best picture by far on the entire page, and I'm waiting for her to win the award for it.
I'm amazed they haven't taken it down. Most of the other pictures are sponsors standing there smiling, and they're
here we go. This just in.
What happened? What?
Can you tell how tall a child is going to be by looking in their ears?
Yes.
At ear flaps, ? I wrote, because what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, that's wrong. Yeah, the answer is yes, but that question is
I'm
flawed.
writing a pediatrician. Don't start with me. He said, you know what they say about big earlobes? And then he wrote, better listener. No, there's nothing of the sort. And the height of the parents are a predictable way to judge.
You look in the ear and see the folds of the inner ear, and that predicts loosely the height.
All right. Well, after this, I will Google the fuck out of that.
Your focus group of one.
A pediatrician who answers all day long, how big are my kids going to be?
You should trust her with the care of your children. Good luck with that. I'm going to stick with Dr. Joe Rogan, who tells me everything I need to know.
Oh, my God. I'm going to consult the biggest moron with a microphone.
Oh, my God. Have you heard what he's doing?
No. I hate
it's
him.
It's a good thing. I didn't hate him until I listened to him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh,
You're
I
deplorable.
see.
I get it.
I understand now.
You're a despicable human
get
being.
it.
Oh, I understand now.
He was
Okay.
He was talking to somebody on CNN who I admire a lot, whose name is escaping right now. One of the doctors they use a lot. And the doctor specifically went on his show to try to
Love it.
engage in a conversation about vaccinations. And he went on the show with an open mind to say, let's talk about why not getting vaccinated is okay. Let's talk about it. And then let's talk about why I might disagree with you. And let's just see where we net, right? And so he would just let all of these inaccuracies fall out of Joe Rogan's mouth. And he would push back and say something like, well, why do you think that? Let me ask you why you think that. Not that it's right or wrong, because and we're all thinking because it's patently wrong. It's like, why is it that you think that's the case? Or let's do this scenario. What do you think might happen? And then and he aired segments of the 2-hour interview on CNN, and then he would say, and I wish I had called up at the time and did a, point by point, well, there's this study that proves this and that study. He goes, but really all I was trying to do was let's open the conversation. Here's a public figure who has had COVID. Wouldn't he like to be vaccinated to spare somebody else this pain and suffering? And not to even continue down that line of reasoning, the reason I had such a strong negative reaction is Joe Rogan was not, humble is the wrong word. Is humble and humility are not the same word.
No, they're not.
So he had zero humility about the situation. He went through this experience, came out the other side quickly, and with what he perceives to be no lasting ill effects.
We'll see, yeah.
And he is saying the reason for that is because he is not fat, because he takes vitamins, because he is healthy, and that other people, so it was sort of like, let's victim shame. It was just, and it was not even, General Colin Powell passed away today.
Yep.
Of complications from COVID. And I'm here to tell you, General Colin Powell was not out in Arizona making out with dudes at a podcasting conference. He was protecting himself. He was also in one of the many vulnerable groups. So it's just the whole point of this was to say, I thought Joe Rogan was harmless and saucy and fun. And we fit into that category.
Dangerous.
We fit into that category of whatever we're thinking comes out, and there's a whole lot of stuff that's probably not accurate, and it comes out.
Like folds in the ears determining how tall your kid's going to be.
Let's say that I'm wrong.
Nonsense.
I truly don't think I'm wrong. Let's say I'm wrong, right?
Yeah.
What will happen when I'm wrong?
Nothing, because it's risking no one's life.
Thank you. Let's say I was saying something that was important, and what would happen when I'm wrong is we would discover, either I would go figure it out, or you would go figure it out, or a listener would figure it out. And we would come back on here and say, oh my gosh, that was wrong.
I did not know a Hummer was a blowjob and an SUV.
I admit that I have been given bad information about Hummers. I still don't think it's right. It's just, but I have to accept that the world is the way it is. It's a round world. I'm on it.
And I'm rotating. I'm sitting and rotating right now.
I feel like a Hummer. I feel like a Hummer's just a hand job. I do.
You still feel that way?
I do.
But again, this
it's
is on
like
a level.
Someone says to you, a brownie is called a cake. Like every time you see a brownie, you're going to think that you're a brownie.
Soda isn't pop, but it is in the Midwest.
Sad. That's
either
right.
one of those, either one of those cases harm no one. They're just you being right or wrong. It's not encouraging
that was
people.
The point is that I had this visceral reaction to him because it was almost as if he was impervious to being human. Humans are wrong. We're wrong a lot. If you can't get there, what do you have to give to me? Nothing. Why would I? You're just ridiculous. So,
and do you know what happens when you admit you're wrong?
What?
Nothing. You're wrong. And it goes away. And that's something that I wanted to teach my kids when they were little. Like, you don't have to fight to be right all the time. You can be wrong. And guess what? You count to 10 in your head and it's over. The more you argue and push, the longer it lasts that you're wrong and it's awkward. Why are you doing that? Like, why? Let it go. Nobody cares when you're wrong. Of course, don't spend time with people who constantly tell you you're wrong.
You care when you're wrong because brings you joy.
Well, it doesn't happen. So
no, I meant you care when I'm wrong. No,
fuck your joy.
Perfect, and we're back.
And we're back.
You see this? What's happening here? That's their show. That's their show.
You see this banter and how annoying they are.
The one
to
that
each
you're
other?
captivated by and can't believe you can't check in until they get out of the way. That's their
Join
show.
Patreon. You can pay to hear this, not just get it for free. Dear listener, thank you so much for listening today. We are so grateful for you. We hope that what we learned at this conference, I don't know, ups our game even a little bit.
Yeah, we're gonna keep trying. We are learning robots, right? So, and now the pressure's on you. How can you listen better?
Yeah, we did our job.
Yeah, how can you be a better listener? What do you think? Joke's on you. We went to the conference. That's all they talked about. How do you shame your audience?
I did the speech on that one. That was my TED Talk.
Dear listener, what the fuck? Yeah, that was
That's my line. Dear listener, thank you for listening. We love you. Bye.
Bye.
I love pockets.
I don't even have to wear these underpants.